I won't reset anyone's phone anymore. I work in a phone repair shop in South Florida. We see the worst. One thing we often have is people with the need to restore their phone. I typically deny this service primarily for the reason I'm about to tell you, but I'd like you to understand how it's comical in a way. People that come through this door for whatever reason have a lower IQ than the rest. So when I tell people that a reset on their phone means that it deletes everything, they can't grasp or understand what that means. I go far into detail like this verbatim. The restore erases everything on your phone. Pictures, messages, mail, contacts, apps, and everything will be gone. It will be as if you never owned this phone. A brand new phone as far as software is concerned. Everything of yours will be gone. That message has grown over the last 5 years because people just don't get it. So for a long while I had stopped offering to restore people's phones. I just got into the rhythm of saying our computer doesn't have iTunes and we aren't authorized. It was a win for me TBH. I don't like this job as far as the customers go and the repairs. Perhaps a bad POV, but it's made me grow cold and numb. So saying no to someone isn't difficult, especially if I know the other outcome can possibly be an issue. So keep this in mind going forward. One day this mid-age lady comes in and sent her because of her issue and needed the phone reset. I had already started saying no, but my boss was like, nah man, let's just do it for her because sent her and whatever. I asked him if he's sure because she was already being a little rude when she came in and I got a not so bright vibe from her. So he tells me to do it and I'm like, you're the boss. I gave her the entire spill front and back. I reset the phone and immediately is lost on why everything is gone. I remember looking at my boss with a stare that said, you see why bro? She's then trying to log in into her emails and this is when she is screaming that her email is signed out. She's going on like this, OMG, why the fuck did send me here? You deleted my emails. I start saying, ma'am, I told you this would happen when it's reset. She goes on saying I never said anything. I said yes ma'am I did. She's like, no you didn't. I go, okay cool, we have security cameras, so I pulled out my phone and went into our app and went right to where we had the convo, and she then starts reverting and saying that it was unprofessional that I used the video as proof. That I should have just went by what she said because customers are always right, so now the entire company doesn't do restores.
Print a sheet that says exactly what the warning is and have them sign it before you go ahead and reset. Date, time, signature. A non-repentance agreement.
Lady doesn't want to pay full price for fabric, so she tries to be smart. I work in the fabrics and crafts department of a large retail chain. Yesterday I had a customer come in and she dropped about 5 bolts of fabric on my table. Half yard for each bolt. Okay, sure, fine. Throughout my cutting, she kept adding more and more and more bolts, totaling to about 20 bolts maybe? Either way, she had enough fabric totaling somewhere around $40. When she saw the price tag, she just sorta scrunched her nose and began taking cuts out of the bundle I'd made for her. She did it with such a finesse that I'm almost certain now that she's done this before. New price tag, $10. She had me take off at least 9 cuts from her bundle, though I didn't really count. Now, store policy states that any cuts that are less than a yard, they're to be remnanted and discounted. I only got around to doing this to one of the pieces before I got pulled to do something else. Several hours later, I come back to my table and there she is, digging furiously through the basket of remnants, the one cut I was able to discount clutched in her grubby hands. She notices me standing there and whirls on me, do you have any more remnants? Me, no, sorry, that's all of them there. Lady, are you sure? I thought I saw some others a little bit ago. Me, yeah, I'm sure, I cleared out my remnant box about an hour ago. At this point I pulled an empty box from under my table. It wasn't the remnant box, but it did its trick. Her eyes widened in stark realization that she must have been too late for her cheap fabric. She shuffled off and that was that. This morning she returned. All those cuts she left behind she got again, half a yard each. She didn't know that those cuts she made yesterday were still sitting under my table, waiting to be remnanted. And they won't be until tomorrow. Oh, retail.
Did she really think you would recognize her and know what she was doing?
I can't believe that store policy allows her to not purchase them after she requested the cut.
That reminds me of one I heard about a paint store where someone would order 5+ buckets of paint, then claim they weren't right and leave them. They would mark down the paint and put it out for sale as is, and the guy would come back and buy the cheaper paint. Their method to fix it was to take every bucket of paint and add in another pigment to make all of them different. Like, they'd add some blue into one and some red into another.
Lady bothers me about an item's price as I enter the bathroom and go into a stall, and actually hounds me inside of the bathroom as well. I'm the kind of person where, if I gotta go, I gotta go. I was heading off to the bathroom, we do not have a staff bathroom, to do my business. A customer must have seen me go in and she said, "Excuse me." I responded saying that I'll be with her in a second as I really had to use the toilet. She followed me into the bathroom. After I sat down in a stall, she started to ask me questions about an item. It was really awkward to do my business with someone actively talking to me, let alone a stranger. I told her politely to please give me a minute because this is a violation of my privacy, and she's being incredibly rude, and that I'll be with her soon. She stopped talking but remained in the bathroom. When I flushed and left the stall, she followed me while I went to the sink to wash my hands to ask her question again. I gave up. She was really making me mad and I completely gave up. After I was done properly serving her, I called her a rude, stuck-up princess who lacks respect for anyone. Quick edit, I didn't expect this to blow up. It was just a really unfortunate nightmare come true. Trust me, I wish I touched her with my unwashed hands to make her super uncomfortable. It probably would have made her leave me alone and get my point across. But I'm not like that. As for the insult, I said it very quickly and didn't really hang around for her reaction. I absolutely said it because even while I was helping her, she wasn't being very cooperative. She had this surprised look on her face, which was satisfying. I normally hate talking to customers like that, but holy hell, don't bother someone in the bathroom.
Fuck. This would have been my worst nightmare. I can't do my business in public toilets no matter how desperate I get. Someone trying to talk to me would only make it worse.
After coming out the stall, you should have shaken her hand, arm around the shoulder, lots of touching and stroking, saying in a friendly tone how nice it is that she feels no boundaries and doesn't think anyone needs personal space and that staff don't deserve any respect when doing personal business. Then wash your hands using lots of soap, picking at your nails, saying how you think your finger went through the last sheet of toilet paper.